Video games suck. Growing up, I didn't really play a whole lot of video games. I played Halo, I played Assassin's Creed, played Lego games, lots and lots of Lego games, way too many Lego games. I liked exploring more than I liked playing video games. And actually, this is where I explored as a kid. I called this the Haven back in the day. I spotted it far away and I noticed the green trees. As you can see, everything's kind of dead, dying. It all kind of blends in with each other, but the green trees stood out to me. And so I came out here and started exploring, and there's lots and lots to explore out here through all the hills. So it was easy for me to imagine myself in fantastic worlds out here. Fantastic worlds that I brought to life when I started making short films in high school. So when I was going to film school in LA, that's the point in my life that I can point to and say that I explored the least amount in my entire life. And I like to explore. As I said, as a kid, I explored the Haven. Obviously now, a big part of my job is to explore remote parts of the wilderness in different parts of the world. But in college, I really didn't get to do any of that. I really was kind of trapped in an urban environment. And I think that led me to the world of video games, funny enough. And so that's when I hopped on the Red Dead train.
Lenny! Micah, get over here!
Yes, boss.
You two right?
Yeah, Red Dead, killing bad guys, killing innocent people. It's the GTA of the cowboy world. There are no rules, there are no morals, even as your gang leader starts to go insane and continues to make terrible decisions that leads you to question his authority, causes gang members that you cared about to leave, and then your character gets terminally ill and there's nothing you can do to help him. It's not so fun of a ride as it sounds.
It is over. Now, Arthur. It's over.
I like Red Dead a lot because in some ways it taught me how to be a better person. And I know that sounds weird when talking about a video game, but to see that the characters, the natural character arc is moving from being a dirtbag to being someone who is good, trying to rectify his mistakes, it really stood out to me.
I'm afraid.
There is nothing to be afraid of, Mr. Morgan.
You know, I know some people probably don't care and continue to be bad the whole time. Some people are just good the whole time. But I started off bad. I was just throwing dynamite at stagecoaches and doing all sorts of stuff. And then by the end of the game, I was really trying to be nice to every NPC that I met. Of course, then the whole story progresses onwards after Arthur, but that game had a whole lot of impact on me. And it really made me want to start going outside more. There's large chunks of the game where you can just do anything you want. And a lot of the time I use that to go up into the mountains and just go AWOL for like an in-game week and just go hunting, go exploring, doing this, that, and the other. And I really, really liked that. And I think that it reawakened something in me that wanted to go out and explore, that I had kind of left by the wayside when I went to college. I mean, the crazy thing about Red Dead is there's so much that happens, so many little details, you know? Like I said, I would go camping for a week. Well, your character's beard grows, and you know, if you don't eat, you start to lose weight, and just so many little things, so many little details that make the game feel more like real life. And as I was playing it, I was like, oh, real life is kind of like Red Dead, which is so backwards because it's like, no, Red Dead is copying real life. And then I realized, oh wait, I can level up in real life. So I did. I got the hat, I got the boots, I started camping more. But I hear what you're saying. What does this have to do with video games suck? They don't capture adventure well. I mean, you have all these open world maps with games like Assassin's Creed and even some Lego games, but they always felt constricting or there's too much happening. And I didn't feel that way playing Red Dead. You know, there's large chunks of the map where there's nothing happening at all. And to me, that was freeing in a way. It's like, oh, there's nothing to do here, but I haven't been to this part of the map. I want to go there, I want to go here. With other games, I didn't feel like that because I felt like I would have to go do, oh, if I go over there, I'm probably going to run into a village full of people who are giving me meaningless side quests. And I didn't want to do that. I don't want to just grind on a game. I want to be able to explore. I want to be able to take my time with the game. I want to get emotionally invested in different characters. Which brings me to my next point. Let's talk about Zelda. Well, inexplicably, at the end of last year, I got this hankering to play Zelda, which is weird because I didn't grow up playing Zelda. I had never played a Zelda game before in my life, but somehow, some way, I came across this quote that was all about how Zelda's supposed to be this exploration-style game, that it was really supposed to harken back to exploring the wilderness as a child, and I thought, that could be fun. Late last year, I think I was under a lot of stress, so I just was seeking some sort of outlet for that. And I guess Zelda was it. So I didn't have a Game Boy Advance. I didn't have a Switch. I didn't have a Wii. But I did have a DS, an original Nintendo DS that has that Game Boy Advance slot in it. And so I bought A Link to the Past. And wow, that blew my mind as to what a top-down pixel art 2D game could be. The only game I had played that was similar in style at all would have been like Pokemon. And I'm not a huge fan of Pokemon because of like the turn-based combat's kind of boring to me. And so Zelda was refreshing because I was like, oh, this is the same top-down style. It's got the nice, you know, pixel art going on. But here I can just hack and slash my enemies and throw bombs at them and shoot them with arrows, and I don't have to do any of this weird Pokemon stuff. And yeah, that game kicked my ass. Not even kidding. Zelda's a freaking hard game. Maybe I would have figured it out as a kid, I don't know. But as an adult, my brain just I can't comprehend the dungeons. Can't figure it out. And it's fun. It's so inexplicably fun at the same time. So playing A Link to the Past made me want to play the newer Zelda games. I looked at DS games first, and nothing really caught my eye, but then I noticed that Ocarina of Time was available on the 3DS. Well, I didn't have a 3DS. I didn't even have a 3DS growing up. And so I got the 2DS, the doorstop, and I was able to do something funny to it. I don't want to say because Nintendo will take this video down, but
Yar, matey.
I was able to play Ocarina of Time on my 2DS, and wow, you talk about, I mean, mind-blowing. The game was mind-blowing. There is no other game quite like Ocarina of Time. even though the map is so much smaller than Red Dead, it gave me that same feeling of exploration. I think exploration in a video game relies a lot on how meaningful that exploration is. You can play so many of these other games where just doing all these side quests just feel meaningless, and you don't get anything out of it, not even as a character, but just as a person. You're just like, this isn't even fun. Why am I doing this? Whereas all the side quests in Zelda all have a meaning and a point to them, and they upgrade you in some way, or they affect you down the line, especially in Ocarina. And Red Dead's more or less the same way. And I think that's what gives meaning to the exploration. I should add that at some point during my professional career, I would like to start a channel streaming games. Kind of already did that with King Kong on PS2, but I would like to do Red Dead, some Lord of the Rings games, things like that, maybe even Zelda. There are some fun video games out there that I would like to play and share my experience of playing them, especially Red Dead. I want to play through Red Dead again and just have it all recorded. So then when I'm too old to play video games, I can just watch my younger self play video games. And I realized that no matter how big or small the map is, there's always something to explore. Everything feels meaningful, everything feels impactful towards the end goal. And really, I have to credit Red Dead for getting me out into the world and camping and exploring. And I have to thank Zelda for really reinforcing that that is something that can happen in a video game. And every time I play Zelda, it makes me want to get back out there. It really does. It really brings out that feeling of exploring the Haven as a kid and exploring the fantastic worlds that I visited in my mind as a child. So earlier I mentioned that Red Dead got me into camping. Well, through camping, I learned a lot about life. And I made a video talking about what that taught me. And you can watch that here now.